This fall on the Cuyahoga, construction cranes and trail crews are reshaping the river.
From new housing to a world-class training center, Cleveland's riverfront is turning into a daily use destination.
Let's unpack it.
This is the Clevelander, spotlighting the people, projects, and places moving Greater Cleveland forward.
Today, reclaiming the river.
Let's start with Irishtown Bend on the West Bank. The Port of Cleveland Stabilization Project is really the quiet hero here. A new retaining wall tied into the hillside with 203 pipe piles and 203 anchors, plus roughly 200,000 cubic yards of soil have been removed to relieve the pressure. That work both protects the shipping channel and unlocks the park that comes next.
Yeah, the $65 million phase is slated to wrap in February of 2026. And after that, the Metro Parks can pivot to the trail and park build-out and stitch the site into that river-to-lake network so that the Flats becomes an everyday waterfront and not just a special occasion stop.
And downstream on the Scranton Peninsula, residents are already moving in. You've got the Collins, 316 apartments. They cut the ribbon at the end of September, and just across Carter Road, Triton at the Flats is targeting first move-ins as early as the holiday season. And we're talking hundreds more homes with river and skyline views.
Head a little further east and you'll hit Bedrock's riverfront site, where the Cleveland Clinic Global Peak Performance Center is rising. It's a 210,000 square foot next-gen training and sports science hub for the Cavaliers, now structurally topped off and aiming to open in 2027. Plus, it's just one part of a much larger riverfront redevelopment plan that Bedrock will be rolling out over the next few years.
So what does this all add up to? Why does it matter for Cleveland?
For one, access. Irishtown Bend sets up a 20-plus acre park with overlooks and a key trail connector. That turns those scenic views into everyday recreation and ties our neighborhoods to the water instead of that old, look but don't touch riverfront.
And then you've got people on the river. Scranton adds that critical mass, hundreds of households where there were just, empty old industrial lots. And more feet on the street drives demand for corner retail, coffee, and services that keep the Flats lively 7 days a week.
Then there's talent and health. The Peak Performance Center anchors a sports science cluster downtown, drawing athletes, clinicians, and visitors while stitching Rocket Arena to the river with an everyday reason to be there.
And then there's the resilience factor, Stabilizing Irishtown Bend isn't about just building a park, as cool as it is. It's actually protecting the freight movement along the river so recreation and industry can coexist. That balance is Cleveland's competitive edge.
Yeah, exactly.
But tell me, what's next along the river? What's the future looking like?
In the near term, with stabilization complete, watch for trail and park-ready work to accelerate at Irishtown Bend, including the final links that connect the river, towpath, and lakefront.
And then on Scranton, as residents move in, you can expect the next wave, neighborhood retail and services that make car-light or car-free living practical. And early momentum is a signal to follow on investors. So, we could see much more happening there.
For the Cavs facility, the interior build-out, systems, and public-facing elements will wrap up as we get closer to that 2027 opening, and that'll add more daily activity along the riverfront.
And on the Columbus Peninsula, just across the river from Irishtown Bend, the Metro Parks approved a partnership to turn a 4.3-acre stretch between Merwin's Wharf and the Center Street Swing Bridge into a mixed-use historic district. And the plan will preserve some of the old historic buildings there, both of which are candidates for state historic tax credits, and the site could eventually include housing, offices, restaurants, or even a hotel.
Nice.
Plus, the Metro Parks is keeping a 30-foot public strip along the river for a continuous trail from Settlers Landing to Rivergate Park, strengthening access and connection across the Flats.
Bottom line is we're turning industrial edges into people places without losing what makes the river work.
The challenge now is execution, linking these sites so the whole riverfront reads as one neighborhood that's also woven into the surrounding fabric of existing neighborhoods.
This is the Clevelander. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. The Clevelander is an unscripted podcast brought to you by the Greater Cleveland Partnership and created with the help of the latest in AI tools. To learn more, visit greatercle.com.